formed in Hyderabad under the aegis of Mr. R.K. Mehtaji, and he should get a lot of applause as much as possible for this cause. And same thing for you people also to join today.
Yes.
So we have got 25 members. He planned for 25, 25 are here. Just now, Mr. Bhaskar Reddy sir was saying that it is for millions of people who they are living on this planet Earth, and this is for that cause only. And how to propagate? This is actually we are late. Actually, we are late, very late. People are not able. It has been discussed in Kyoto, in Paris, and so many other forums. And there is a UN's World Meteorological Organization also is working on this. I'll read out a small paragraph. In the 2015 Paris Agreement saw countries agree to cap global warming at well below 2 degrees centigrade, above average levels measured between 1850 and 1900, and 1.5 degree if possible. But just now he has referred that 2 degrees we have gone up instead of going down. So that says that what is the urgency and what is the need and what is the importance of this particular meeting today. This is the job of the departments, government, basically to take care of entire thing. But today this is the group which has really come up, at least for their own cause probably. And we have to catch up a long way. So for this purpose, I am a very small baby, maybe a month old only, when I have come to know from these two people what exactly is biochar. So I cannot talk much on that. There are people available in this group. There are 3 doctors. I really welcome them. One is Dr. Bhaskar Reddy Garu himself, Dr. Pramod Garu, and Dr. Raju Garu. So and then there are so many scientists, so many chemical engineers, so many agronomists, so many government officers. So I really appreciate this particular group. Is a very vivid, no doubt, but very knowledgeable group, and this is going to be expert group under the aegis of Mr. Bhaskar Reddy and Mr. R.K. Mehtaji. Now this group is trying to form core committee members and the other committee members, which I again leave it to Mr. R.K. Mehtaji to nominate, because when this much he has done, he will do further also. We have all the faith in this thing. The most important thing is we have to proceed with the education side of the biochar. As in Anantapur University, he said that people have enrolled en masse. So like this should go to the down to the everybody. That is the education from the students level. So this should be the subject in all the universities, in all the colleges, and all the departments. They should have slogan. What is biochar? Why it is there? People should know immediately what they are doing, why they are burning the fossil fuel, or how they should avoid, why they should avoid. What is the next alternative for it? So this particular job has to be taken up in Hyderabad particularly. This group has formed. I request Mr. Mehtaji to kindly propagate it as much as possible, and we are all there with you. So with this, we are going to form certain committees, and in that I request Mr. Bhaskar Reddy Garu to kindly help us, and all prominent people, all the 25 members to be taken, I think, who they have come here, who they are spending in some committee or other, so that we make it a very important role we play in the society. And we have got some industries also here who are already working in the biochar, like Mr. Shravan Kumar, like Mr. Goenka Group, Chandrasekhar Garu, and Mr. Sheshasai Reddy. Mr. Sheshasai Garu. So all these people, they are already in advanced stage. So probably these are the people, they can become a torch bearer for the entire thing. And Sudhakar Reddy Garu is in agriculture particularly. He is a very master in that, farms and agriculture. If you can give us guidance, particularly for the agriculture, then probably we can take. And regarding NIMSME already started one biochar. I think you are hosting. Already organized, but already you got a permanent form of biochar, a group, a scale. Kindly increase it as much as possible. And he has proposed 100 acres. This is nothing, is very small, I think. 100 acres in each districts or in each state, at least let us start at least with that, so that people get benefited. And Professor is here, who is expert in pyrolysis. Anybody is having anything about the pyrolysis to know, probably he will be the right person. Environmental Mr. Khan is there, he is environmental, he can give a lot of inputs on the particular this environment. So with these few words, I thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Would have sent in the atmosphere about 10 million tons of CO2. That indicates the gravity of the problem. Now, I will only reel out those figures, which are a source of grave concern. It should be the source of grave concern. One is that during 2022, we have added 37.6 billion tons of CO2 in the atmosphere. When I was a young child in 1960, the CO2 content in the atmosphere was just 312. Today, it is running at 412. That indicates the gravity. And for the last 11 years, we are increasing the CO2 content in the atmosphere by 2 ppm. Today, it's around 412. So, this is the gravity of the situation. So in that context, any effort to fix carbon is absolute must. The economic aspects of that proposal are secondary. The primacy must go to fixing the carbon in the atmosphere. It has to be done, regardless whether we get benefit out of it, commercial benefit out of it or not. The fixing of carbon has to be there. Now, some commercial proposals were being given here that will, the fate of the carbon which we are using by means of biochar, it should not ultimately get converted to CO2. If that is happening, then we are defeating the very purpose of this mission. That biochar is a means of sequestration of carbon in our environment. Now, having said that, you see, I was surveying the internet and I found that there are 6 ways of sequestration of carbon. And I was, very pleasantly shocked that Dr. Sai Prabhakar Reddy has suggested the 7th way. So I'll quickly, run over those 6 ways, how we can sequester carbon into our environment. One of the ways is, the primary way is reforestation. That is, grow as many trees as possible. Regardless, greenery, fill everywhere with greenery. Now, you would be, interested to know that the forest cover in India, that was at around 21%, if I am right. Correct me if I am. Yes. Now it has gone up, marginally it has gone up, I am told. Is it true? I read some.
Maybe on paper.
Maybe on paper. So, yeah. 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 That is a big sin. We are committing a national sin if we. I am not point blank suggesting that. I am not trying to do that. I am only saying that reforestation is one of the means. I am going to list down 6 other methods, right? The second method is this using the soil properly. See, our agricultural practices have to undergo a change. I learned that soil also absorbs carbon dioxide and it sequesters the carbon in that process. So, the present agricultural practices are very, detrimental to this carbon sequestration process. I don't want to go into the details. There is no time for that. And third is biocarbon removal, biomass carbon removal. This is what is biochar. But by biochar, we are trying to remove the biomass. We are trying to convert biomass into fixed and inert carbon. It is not going to be very reactive in the atmosphere. So, and the fourth one is direct air capture. You know, there are studies going on, and there are some laboratories also set up to capture directly CO2 from the air and sequester it, convert it into carbon and sequester it. This is the fifth. And the sixth one is, and the last one, no, the last one will be what Dr. Sai is recommending. The sixth one is use the ocean for sequestering carbon. That means they want to grow seaweeds. Seaweed forms will be there in the sea, and that will trap the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So, the urgent need of the hour is, by hook or by crook, we should prevent CO2 from entering into atmosphere. Please remember, we are adding CO2 in the atmosphere by 2 ppm every year. If this trend continues, you have a 2035 figure.
35.
How much will that be?
There will not be Himalayas now. No more.
Yeah, all the ice caps will go. So,
Icebergs will go.
yeah, ice cap, and countries like Maldives and all, they will all disappear. So, this is the state of affairs. I think.
Yes.
Seventh one is what Dr. Saab is suggesting. This, you know, if we can trap biochar like this, nothing like it. Its decoration is killing two birds with one stone. Aam ke aam, gutliyon ke daam. Ji sir. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. We had a very fruitful and useful session. Vote of thanks being a mere formality, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude, first of all, to Mr. Raj Kumar Mehta. You know, for my first job interview I had with Mr. Mehta at Bakelite and High Lamps. This is just back in 1974. Dr. N. Sai Bhaskar Reddy, thank you very much. Mr. Gupta, Reddy Saab, Sir Shai, Dr. Pramod Kumar, Bharatveer Saab, and all gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. We had a very useful session, and I am hoping that we continue this process which we have set in motion today, and I am sure it will definitely give the desired results. Thank you very much.
And that is essential and compulsory for all the countries. So in that perspective also, this is become one of the important agenda for the government also, how to see that we do more carbon sequestration. So these are the important things around that we are working. But biochar, the jargon that came initially for mostly agriculture, because from terra preta we have derived. Traditionally also, people had been using mostly for this agriculture sustainability. But because we have different names given in industrial area, like activated carbon, whether it is from your own drinking water, we have filters or air purifier, and even sanitation. So everywhere they are there. So it's an integral part actually. So that's why one of the jargon that I was more conversant to give for my book also is biochar culture. Because like agriculture, horticulture, these things had been there. Only biochar is the new jargon given. Like for just one child we give some nickname, later on we give another name. So otherwise what they were calling is simply charcoal. But charcoal has multiple things to do other beyond biochar also. So I thought charcoal as superset. I am not telling. IPCC report clearly says biochar is a kind of charcoal material. So let us not debate much on the definitions. There are umpteen definitions to confuse people. The more you download, the more you see, you think that I am not the right person or not doing it rightly. So that is the problem. So let us redefine things for our own ecology, for our own condition, for our knowledge, skills, community. That's why artisanal biochar is a big thing for carbon credits. Traditionally, nobody agreed because burning anything outside will lead to smoke. but the plants that would survive on that and they would multiply, I mean to say by biomass, at least to 2x, 4x, 5x times. So that is doing carbon sequestration. And for 1000 years minimum it is going to be there. So why you worry? Something like that. The things have been evolved as of now. So the best technology without much emissions are also accepted. Even artisanal kind of biochar is also accepted, and everything is for carbon credits already. They are there. Neeraj is there already. He is working on that. He is an expert on that. Then because this is going to address our food security, the most important issue as of now. The global food security is a major concern, and livestock management, environmental sustainability, industrial applications, manufacturing, health, sanitation, green buildings also, like bricks we are telling. So this water treatment, urban gardens, then ultimately climate change, the biggest issue that we all are facing now currently. Then with this outline, this everybody understands, and here also everybody is not looking only for one aspect. This biochar, like Shravan has aptly said, I'm not looking just for one thing because it has applications for every area. So reuse and reuse, that is the biggest thing we have to bring up here in this biochar. Not applying directly to soil, use it once, then apply. Like you use in your poultry or your own animal husbandry, where your urine, slurry, everything is there. You reduce emissions there by using biochar. Same thing, it is charged actually, activated. Then again use for the soil. That way we can have two uses rather than applying. Like in construction, bricks, biochar bricks. Once it is demolished, where it will go? Again, it will sustain the soils and other things. Otherwise, our construction base is not helping in any way. So like that, these kind of things we have to evolve now. Multiple uses of biochar. Here the club structure, it's an outline. And second thing is like bamboo biochar when we use something like high-end high-quality biochar, it can emit like far infrared radiation. That is good for your health also. Yeah. So again, this is very light for you to keep anywhere, especially in your dashboard for your vehicles. When you keep, usually we keep more like emitting some kind of perfume, speaking that it is freshening us. It is more polluting. So instead you can keep these kind of things everywhere. So that will add lots of value. And ultimately this is carbon sequestration. Buddha himself is doing some carbon sequestration in this form. So you can have different shapes, different modes. But this is what I mean to say is ultimately when you are selling biochar, what is the price? 10 rupees to 20 rupees to 100 rupees, whatever it is online. Let us say. But once I am putting some biochar here, what could be the price you want to buy? Let us say here. You put any price. I will not say anything. Just say some price. Anybody here?
500.
Huh?
200, 500.
Very good. So it means hardly 20 grams is equal to 200 rupees. So 1000 grams means how much it is, like something like that. Okay, it is going into like thousands of rupees. So some value addition happened now. Third thing is even it gets crumpled and demolished and it goes into soil, it benefits. You can grow plants with this material. You put water and stir it, then put some soil, then you can grow a plant. So environmentally this is perfect. I want more Ganeshas to be immersed in our Hussain Sagar with this biochar. So that my water is treated. Like that we can be more innovative rather criticizing why you are doing that. I will tell that do this way. So like that we have umpteen solution. This is only one experiment. I was very keen and I learned myself. I am not an artist. Slowly with molds and everything. But I want to prove that yes, this is what one can do, something like that. Small things. So with this, lots of enterprises can come. Netaji said, why don't you make a Buddha like this with biochar? In every hotel, every place, this Buddha should be there. That's a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
It is the best way to reach to the common man.
Women we can train ourselves.
मास्टर आप जो गिफ्ट देते हैं ना
Yes, sir.
What we're giving.
I just want to know the cost wise. Compared to what is in the market, is it costlier or cheaper?
Which one, sir?
The biochar ideal.
What I prepared is any locally available biochar only. It is not a special biochar.
Yeah.
You can get the best biochar also. Still, your product is viable to sell. Means the costliest biochar also. I mean to say like Sudhakar surface, the best quality with all values in it. If I apply that also in this, the cost will be still I can be profitable. Something like this. So most important group that is required is license group. Here why we are telling is we want each one according to their already what they are doing. CSR and other things. A very critical thing. Those who are already good at this thing, they should lead this. Then biochar fortified biofertilizers for soil amendments and agriculture. Who are working, they can join. Then application of biochar for processing municipal waste. This is a big area. See, always you need not cultivate edible plants or something. Even greenery development by using that is also fine. Otherwise, any of this light is going somewhere, plants are coming. Instead of that, convert into biochar and then other plants come up. So something like that can happen. Even energy plantations can come up. Then biochar for animal husbandry sector. This is huge. We are not touched much this area. Also consume some biochar almost every day, knowingly, unknowingly. Your roti has some biochar, or your corn cob has some biochar, or roasted peanut has some biochar. So that is helping us actually. So like that, animals will also lots of benefits from this biochar when intention, especially poultry. There is lots of smell and emissions. Even agriculture emissions is the major contributor for climate change. You have to remember. And it is beautiful black will. This black will not go. Any pigment might with the age, the color might come down. But I am using only biochar here. I am not using artificial pigment. So that is long lasting as it is. Something like that. So it has its own value.
I think this patent should be given.
No patents. I am against patents. Remember, I am an open knowledge person. I am also leading an organization called Bosch. I am founder member of the international organization. Rounding open science hardware. This is for common good. Anything to do with millions of people, I am against patents. All my
What's the name, sir? What you said? Which organization?
Bosch. Konda, Bosch, that is in Canada. It was formed. I was the founder member in 2009. I was called only for one reason. They asked me, why you are not patenting your house? Why you are not patenting all this? I said, these are meant for poor people and for millions of people. Why I should patent? That was the only reason.
But I would.
Sunti, I'm leading Core Carbonics Solution Private Limited.
ऊंचा बोलिए.
Hello.
हाँ, go ahead.
We have been working in the climate change and sustainability domain for the last 17 years, and I have been working in the carbon market since the beginning of the carbon market for the last 20 years now. With the biochar, there is a renewed interest. What we have seen that great amount of focus has gone up during the last 1.5 years. You have seen all the big corporates, including Microsoft, has put up enhanced interest in the biochar, and they're really buying the credits from the biochar. What we see today in the carbon market, there is a enhanced focus on the carbon removal. Carbon removal means whatever we are emitting the carbon, something had to be removed. And how it can be removed? It was basically through one of the mechanism, that biochar. The other one is that very expensive one, then they say is carbon capture, or take up some solution to the sea and then capture the carbons. Those solutions are there. Earlier times when the carbon market was started in the year 2005, we have seen mostly the focus was on avoidance. Somebody generating the coal-based power, now you are putting up wind and solar, and now you avail the carbon credits and then you sell it to somebody. But in recent times, those credits has come under criticism because solar and wind has become business as usual. So that means you need to do something, because as Dr. Sai Bhaskar told, and then we have seen on Brazil on 18th of this month, we crossed the 2 degree centigrade. And we have been discussing since when I have started my carbon journey, we have been discussing whether the climate change is real or fake. And now we have reached a stage where we are seeing every day the devastation. So now what is there in front of us? Evidence, of course, is required, and our business strategy has to be in that manner, has to go hand in hand. The other aspect is that reduction, some aspect has to be addressed. Like I think so one of our colleague and friends told that how their Goenka groups, they are looking into reducing the carbon emissions from the construction sector. That means it's not the operation that happens here in this building that will reduce the carbon emission. Also, when we build up the construction, the embedded carbon emission has to go on. So in consideration of that cases, the other aspect, prime focus that is coming up, we called in carbon market the premium product, and biochar is coming under that premium product. So today carbon credits associated with the biochar is commanding a price of $100 to $150 literally. But then there is lots of conditions are there. That mean you must need to see that your whatever waste heat or waste gas is coming out, at least 70 to 80% is being reused. $100 to $150
per pound.
per ton of carbon dioxide, per ton of carbon dioxide. So 1 ton of biochar is equivalent to around 2.5 ton of carbon dioxide. So that means that kind of credits you have, that kind of money you have. When I was talking to my friend who has already started biochar unit, I was trying to take his input. Whatever investment he has made it in terms of biochar, he may get the same amount of money around 3 to 4 years. But I don't know what is the operation cost. As Mehtaji was saying, okay, today ITC is selling at 1 rupees, but tomorrow when they realize, okay, there is a price for the product, the 1 rupees will go to 4 rupees. We have seen in all cases in the biomass. But then please assume going forward, unless you don't close the contract onto the carbon market with a big group like Microsoft, it may happen this biochar credit again from $100 to $150 will come down, because we have seen so many people are coming forward for the biochar, and it's becoming a scarce resource now. Biomass, you need to finally get a biomass. So then we saw a potential, as Dr. Saiviskar already was saying, waste. Whatever sludge, municipality sludge we are generating now, it's a big, and every municipality is struggling. Whatever sludge we are getting it, they're doing a treatment and saying, okay, we are infusing somewhere. But have you seen what is the remaining component is left out? How polluting it is? Nobody is looking into that one. So what we need to do today, some of the people are thinking about incinerating. Incinerating means one organic, one carbon value, you are just burning it. So one of the solution we are looking into that one, that how we can make it a biochar. I think so Warangal has already successfully demonstrated it. Many of the new technology, whatever is coming up, we are also talking to the municipality, telling them, okay, please use it, get a fund, part of the fund, and bring in the solution. So under the carbon process, I'll make it more simpler, because for the people who are not part of it journey, as we are emitting more and more emission into the carbon into the atmosphere, now what is happening with the biochar? We are reducing the carbon emissions. Carbon is being captured, but then finally it also depends where we are using it. If we are taking the soil in the agriculture sector, we are putting it for the soil for 1,000 years, because it will be there in the soil. With the flood or rainwater, it will go to the river, finally go to the sea, and it will be under sea. So for the 1,000 of years, it will be sequestering it. If we are taking it to the construction sector, we are capturing the carbon permanently. We are capturing that one in the construction. The artisans or the whatever material we are making it, it is a good one because we are storing it permanently. So these kind of carbon credits possibly have a potential of around price of $100 to $150. The other one is that steel and aluminum sector is very interested. Why? Because in Europe they have started carbon border adjustment mechanism, CBAM. On the okay.
Finish in 2 minutes.
Sir, sure.
Yeah, one question.
Sir, just I finish, then we'll get. Okay. So CBM, under the CBM, there is a much more interest is there. That's why they wanted to make it green and clean. Unless the steel sector doesn't do it, so they'll be also be penalized, or their product will be penalized. So what they are trying to do now, using the biochar, replacing the coke. So that means it is a carbon neutral emission. But that kind of carbon credits, the potential, the price is lower because it's a avoidance. So overall in this process, I want to say there is a few standards are there which has already taken off the carbon. One is the Puro Earth, the other was the Vera carbon. The new market mechanism that is coming of Article 6.4 which will be the under the UNEP CCC will also have a high command. Some of the new company has started their own carbon mechanism, mostly multinational, and trying to use the blockchain kind of technology. So there is a potential to take it under this process in a simpler way. What you need to do, you need to develop certain documentation. You need to see that the documentation meet to the requirement, either European biochar standard or other international standard, and Bhera and Piro Earth standard, and you do the validation. First is auditing, then every year do your verification. Once you realize the carbon credit, then you can sell the carbon credit to somebody. So that's a simpler process I want to
What
just.
is CBM, sir? CBM.
So carbon border adjustment mechanism, CBAM. Yeah.
My question is, you said biochar can be used for this in steel and aluminum industry. What will be the fate of carbon in that case?
No, that will be burned, but what you are doing, you are.
No, burning means some product comes out. No, burning means it becomes again carbon dioxide.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's not environmental friendly.
No, that's what I'm saying. You are replacing.
We shouldn't encourage.
No, that is a green steel. So that is for steel industry. That's not for carbon offset.
Okay.
Green steel. How do you make your steel green? Because otherwise they will be penalized. So this is a carbon neutral.
Yeah.
Biochar is a carbon neutral. You burn it, but it's from biomass.
Okay.
If you don't use it, use from coke. It is from fossil fuels you are taking out. Again, burning it and net CO2 emission. That's something about it.
It's a fuel switch.
It's a fuel switchover.
That's all.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Microsoft is the biggest buyer. Today they are the biggest buyer for the biochar credits.
Microsoft and Spotify, they are already buying for $250
Sure.
US. Biochar-based
Anywhere in the globe.
Simultaneous, why can't we keep on reducing CO2 to cellulose? Atmospheric CO2, what tree does, CO2, moisture, sunlight, convert to cellulose. Such kind of technology.
Forestation.
That's called carbon capture. CO2
So that's
capture.
CO2 capture.
so that
Conversion of CO2 to cellulose.
so today that credit is being sold at $500.
Yeah.
Okay, but then their limitation is there how much you can do it out of it. So every technology has its own limitation. So that's why we have to really look into it. So that's what I'm saying. We need to look into all kind of solutions.
Your numbers are available to contact him, Mr. Mohanty, on his phone number. We call Mr. Hussain Babu.
And they think it is extremely, higher plane, and they are not useful. What do you know? I have used aged biochar in my own mango. The aged biochar will help the soil organic carbon. Does anybody know? In the entire universe? Please tell me. It's not an argument. It's definitely not an argument.
No, it does help, Mr. Reddy.
The aged biochar, the kill, please listen. If you start hearing, there will be so many things coming out. Otherwise, how do you come to know about it? Thinking I only know, others do not know. We should know what we don't know. In the first place, I am here to learn what I don't know before I talk. So let us come to the point. See, certain things have come to light. My 5-year-old biochar lying from the kiln. One kiln person has left over nearly about 10 bags of biochar in my premises. They were lying. They got aged. That aged biochar I have used with mycorrhiza. It gave excellent results in the mango. Did you ever take these factors into account? So we have to allow people to talk. I may be talking, you see my last 7 years of my thing. The Google has already noticed me. The Google has already noticed me. It keeps sending more advanced things to me. How many people know that? The more you keep writing to the Google, you get more advanced things, which you may not know sometimes, because you didn't have the opportunity to exchange with Google. I think Mr. Bhaskar Reddy might be going up. Do you agree with me, Bhaskar Reddy? And it keeps sending me different videos, which others may not have the chance, because they might not have exchanged with Google. So therefore, and another factor is, people do not know the difference between charcoal and biochar. The charcoal is limited with less surface area. Why do you activate the biochar We don't even limit, stop with biochar. Please understand. Charcoal, followed by biochar, followed by activated biochar. You have to think on these lines. The charcoal has volatile matter, it limits its surface area and pores, and only when you use in limited oxygen conditions, those pores get removed and more surface area will improve. It doesn't mean the higher the temperature, the higher the surface area. Sometimes you get into myths about biochar. You think higher the temperature, you get more surface area. No, it depends on your feedstock and hardwood stock. So these are all the factors one will have to know. There are so many variables.
So in the interest of time,
was your aging under controlled conditions?
Aging not under control. This is where I am telling you again. You have raised a very pertinent question. This is where people like Dr. Bhaskar Reddy should think on controlled aging condition. We called it fast aging.
So your aging.
See, I have done 5 to 10 years aging, keeping this on the field. They have left and bags of biochar on the field for 5 years or 6 years. I don't know.
What?
That is age.
Sun,
That is atmosphere aged. Now you have to do artificial aging. You have the simulation. How do you simulate the same conditions? You understand? So you are any technical person understanding artificial aging. You have to create artificial aging, you see, in a oven. Normally, most of the objects, you see, which are subjected to aging higher temperatures, they create those conditions and simulate it.
Yes, sir.
So that reflection you have to see.
I have a suggestion for the group. So whenever you finish, which is simply a club, sounds like a social organization. Whereas a society indicates that you have come together for a certain purpose. So I would,
Sir, there are two issues. One is keep on discussing at the scientific level. Other is reaching out to colleges, to farmers.
Tell me, why is theory here?
Farmers, not
Where
colleges.
is theory here?
Colleges do not do anything. You have to go down to a farmer who is the end user. Let us not just go for the college students over there who
Extension
never do
program is
anything.
more important today.
Go down to the end user.
And let me also tell you,
so
you
the
should have
idea of a
multiple
society then.
you should have multiple uses with biochar. See, you must have a particular temperature. Thinking that higher temperature is good and less temperature is bad, it is all the question of residential time. Who has done? I may not know. I am asking the Bhubaneswar fellow to meet my conditions. This is where I said the mentor. He himself called me as a mentor. Anyway, it's left to the individual how they take. So my point here is, see, I asked him to take the variable temperatures, not mere rotation and then making the homogeneous biochar. Homogeneity is one aspect, and improving the properties with homogeneity is another aspect. So at 400 degrees, I may get 1750 meters square per gram. I also asked the professor, sir, did we not discuss? Have you understood the meaning of what I talked? Just 1 minute, how much of thing you have learnt in the sense understood from me as a farmer. If I don't know how to make my bulk density, I may have to increase, my biochar from 16.4 tons per hectare. By increasing the bulk density, I may have to reduce, I may be reducing, 11 tons or 12 tons. Will it not help the farmer? If only you know these factors, if you only you know how the feedstock being the same, with different temperatures and residence time, the bulk density getting changed, I am reducing my biochar in terms of less usage, with more benefits, with higher surface area of 1750. Suppose I have used 700. I may be using, I may be getting 1200 meters square. Meter square means number of pores will be less. I mean, anyway, it's going too much into technicalities. I don't know how we can follow. But my point is, I'll simply say the pores will increase. Simply, I'll say pores will increase. When pores will increase, it gets charged. So therefore, please understand these things.
And also all my respected friends and participants who have joined here, participated in this Biochar Club meeting. I am joining for the first time, sir. You can call me as a baby of this club or society. To start with, because basically I am from agriculture field. I do farming. Theoretically and practically both sides knowledge I have. Okay, that's one thing. What I wanted to specify here, sir, is that farmers are cultivating different type of crops, especially in rain-fed type of agriculture. We have a lot about Mr. Babu also was telling. I want just go a little further, one or two steps more. Thousands of tons of biomass in terms of cotton residue, red gram crop residue, and castor residue, cash crop residue, and also green gram, black gram. So many other crops are being grown by the farmers. Most of these leftover stubbles are being burned, physically burned by the farmers. We have been telling in our training programs and meetings not to burn, put it in a pit, convert it to vermicompost and use it to the fields and all. That's all we have been telling. But the intricacies and problems of labor, water, this and that, everything, most of the farmers also were not interested to do such hard work to convert into biomanure, that is vermicompost manure. Now, my big question is, if we can have a very good mechanism to convert all these entire thousands, I cannot give you the figure also. How many tons of biomass I have in my own mandal, forget about the district or the country. So, if we have good proper mechanisms to convert this biomass into a suitable biochar sort of thing, and if that we can apply to the farmer fields, how to apply it, how to go into that sector is that I have a few suggestions from my side, sir. First of all, let us call it as a biochar society. But to further go into that, if you instead of calling only biochar society, I will call it as a farmers biochar group society. That is, a farmer producer organizations are already being promoted by the government. FPOs they are called. FPOs, what they do is they are only registered under the Societies Act. So initially they are the first groups who can be trained, who can be sensitized, where awareness can be brought into these FPO groups, and when they do good work, they can be again registered as FPC under Companies Act, as we discussed. So they can become a Companies Act. Once we get the registration under Companies Act, they become FPCs, Farmer Producer Company, and that will be helped by the Government of India. There is an organization which is going to help the small and marginal farmers for FPCs. They have liaison with all the companies, they have liaison nationally, internationally, forward linkage, backward linkage, everything they give, and they help it's a government sector and they help these FPCs. So my big question is, important question is, what is the best mechanism to convert this biomass into biochar, which can be reused by the farmer into the same field and get the benefits out of it. Now another point is that how many nutrients, what are the increase or deficiency arising in nutrients? See, after all crops, we require nutrients. So by using biochar, what is happening to the nutrient content? When I am talking about vermicompost, natural vermicompost, I say it has got 60 nutrients for the farmer, for the crop. But I don't know how many type of nutrients or what content is there in biochar. I don't have the knowledge.
Because you rightly said you are new to this group.
Yes.
I think
We can
whatever
once
you
we
said
talk will be better.
Yeah.
is everybody can extend. Most of them are highly experienced. You also said
Yes.
So maybe we need an intensive training.
Intensive
Like your geographical
discussion of
area.
that.
Now 2 days training you put up. Then only doubts are clear. This kind of meeting will be very.
Sai Bhaskar Reddy garu, we are talking at the periphery level of the top of the pyramid.
Yes.
Unless until you go down to the bottom, I think Sir was just telling, I have been constructing these composting units at all market yards to take the vegetable waste or the waste which is coming out there into a good soil conditioner. We are not getting people to do it there. When I just brought all the analysis and done everything, the farmers are happy. Few progressive farmers are happy. What is now is just go down to the people where there is a waste. Start working on it. Then go talking on these things about webinars, seminars, do not do anything. Go down to the bottom. Ask the
Bring the benefits, show the benefits.
Ask the farmer what you want.
I agree with you.
Yes, sir.
So myself Hussain Babu, working for Department of Agriculture, Nalgonda, which is neighboring to this Hyderabad city. So my point is from the point of farmers I had come to this place. So my district has got lot of paddy cultivation, cotton cultivation. So cotton running to some 7 lakh acres in a year, and whereas paddy 5 lakh acres in a season. So in a year 10 lakh acres paddy you are cultivating. So lot of troubles are coming actually. So to address these issues, how this biochar convention can be useful for my farming community. From that point I had come to this August gathering, and I would like to take a lot many inputs from this forum, so that I can be of some use to my farming community. In that aspect I had come particularly. And the other agenda item for me is youth. So a lot of still that is 58% of population of India depending on agriculture. Mostly they are living in rural areas. So for them employment is a big constraint. So I would like to shift these people, that means motivate these people to agriculture, so that they can have the remunerative kind of agriculture, particularly blending with kind of ideas like integrated farming systems, so that natural things can be produced. The other thing is carbon neutral food. That is another concept for me, carbon neutral food. So ultimately the food that we eat, we consume, it should be what you call sustainable. That means in a sense it should be proper. So clubbing these ideas, taking some input from here, so that how best I can reach the common man, that's my farmer, so that ultimately he will be benefited out of these ideas. So this is the idea, basic idea for me when I am connected to this program. Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Other industries, and they can be made only with very good pyrolysis equipment, with a lot of temperature control. The idea in the biochar reactor, you control the time and the temperature and the biomass you want to use. So that's a caution for industrial application. We are talking of many products. General is farm level production using the waste. So that's important to remember, that there are two big sections: industrial grade, high quality, and general purpose. General purpose are being made in Hyderabad by one Aranya company, Arena Agriculture. They are making a pit method, soil pit method, like someone is using a tooled equipment available on the net. We gave him the design of a tooled equipment. There's another equipment being sold which you have kiln of fire. So kiln of fire is an American design approved by the carbon credit companies also, and that is available, that is selling. So this is one caution, that quality of biochar is very important for different applications. General grade tooled equipment cannot be used for industrial grade. You can't meet the specifications. Coming to second number one is availability of biochar. You must have read in the paper, government is promoting biomass for ethanol production, biomass for pellet production. Anil Kumar sahab bata sakte hain. So there's a lot of competition for biomass. I was discussing this morning with the Vice President of Bhadrachalam Paper Board. He said all the biomass, including agri biomass, collated form, will become expensive. What he has done is, there's our friend Chandrasekhar, the ITC is selling at 1 rupee a kg, which is low. That will also go to 3 or 4 rupees per kg. So biomass will become expensive. and availability will be a problem. We have to work with people like Forest Development Corporation, Telangana Forest Development Corporation, to assure that long-term contracts are available. So these are the collaboration. Collaborations are available abroad. We got some quotation. A imported plant with good control costs minimum 3 to 4 crores. It starts with 2 crores and goes up to 5 crores, depending on the capacity. Whereas Indian plants, Indian economy can't afford that cost today. We're a low-cost economy. So we will go for simpler equipment. I hope the equipment Dr. Reddy's lab, Dr. Reddy Foundation is putting, will be a modern instrumented equipment meant for industrial application. That is also in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, as you said earlier also, 4 people are making Biochar already. Our friend here, Mr. Chandrasekhar. Then Aranya, everything, they're making cotton stocks. Kana Shanti Vanam is making Biochar and using it very well. So 3 companies we know which are already working in Hyderabad itself and making Biochar. But availability of biomass would be a caution word.